Why, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. How's it going? How y'all doing? I'm awake, which is great. I don't feel all that sick. I still got a bit of a residual cough, but you know, that's just how it goes. How y'all doing? We got a whole bunch of people hanging in the chat. Hey Blood Deuce, hey Adrian. I saw Lance in there. We got Flannel Pug. How y'all doing? Oh, Adrian, you need some coffee. I know that feeling. That's me at work every day, but somehow, for some reason, the idea of not being at work just keeps me alive during the weekend. It's like it's like energy all to itself. Oh man, I'm super excited for this adventure. It's gonna be really cool. But before I dive too much into that, yeah, I mean, have any of you guys been checking out the new stream, the stream of many eyes? I'm gonna be honest, I was a little disappointed it wasn't more like Beholder themed so far. But I've only really watched their first adventure that they've run so far. Flannel Pug hungry. I'm gonna be so hungry after this. I ate like 4 hours ago when I woke up, and now I'm starting to feel it a little bit, and I'm gonna be more hungry soon. It's gonna be sad, but I'm not hungry yet, so we're gonna roll with that. Pure Zin. I don't know what Zin is, Reflected 10-8. Do you mean Zen? Or is Zin some other crazy thing that I should know, but I don't because I'm not cultured? Haven't worked since December 22nd. Yeah, that sucks, but such is life sometimes. But Shiba, you're almost here. That's all good. I'm super excited for this adventure. It's gonna be pretty cool. For those who are not familiar with what I'm doing here, basically this is just a super relaxed, super chill stream. We're gonna hang out, chat a little bit, and we're gonna get going building this adventure in Roll20. The adventure is called The Silence of Evil. It's based on The Silence of Evil, which is an adventure from the 4th edition Dungeon Delve book. Dungeon Delve was a series of 30 adventures, one for every level of play in 4th edition, and they are awesome. They're each meant to be played for about 3 to 4 hours in one sitting. They are not really connected, but they all give you ways to build out and expand them into full-length like story arcs if you want, which is really cool. I really loved this book. It was the best thing for me when I was first starting. This is my first experience dungeon mastering was out of this book, and it is so easy to really to use and to play. Sorry, I'm laughing. I see Reflected 10-8 in chat. Zen, a higher tier of Zen. It is beyond transcendence. I'm afraid I'm not quite there, Lance, but you know what? I'm really glad you are, bud. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for transcending transcendence. But yeah, these adventures are great. I'm converting them for 5th edition. So the way that I roughly do that is I've done a little bit of playtesting with these with level 1. So if you take the level 1 adventure in this Dungeon Delve book and try and run that for level 1 characters in 5e, they all die. Absolutely, without a doubt. Probably in the very first encounter. So I found that level 3 was a really good level to play the level 1 adventure in this book. And I'm hoping that level 18 will be a good level to play the high level adventures, level 29 and 30. So basically to convert the level in 4e to 5e, I divide the level by 2, and then I add 3. So with you take that original level 1 adventure, divide it by 2, you got 0, add 3, level 3. Great. So for here, level 29, divided by 2, we get 14 and a half, rounding up to 15, plus 3, and we get level 18. So hopefully level 18 will be a good level for these guys to play. I really have no idea. Hopefully it'll be great. But anywho, Blood Deuce, exactly. We are experiencing tranquility right now. This is what tranquility feels like. Me staring into your eyes, speaking to you in my slightly lispy, dulcet tones. Alright, cool. So now that we've experienced tranquility, we are all on a higher level of existence. We can dive directly into the adventure, The Silence of Evil. So, I'm going to boop, boop, zoom in a little so y'all can read. This PDF, by the way, is the Dungeon Delve book. You can get it on, what is it? The Dungeon Masters Guild. I think it's like $10 or something, which, I think it's a good deal, personally. And yeah, it's cool. I really like it, especially if you like running those one-shot feel adventures. It's very combat heavy. You can kind of build your own RP in if you want. That's totally cool. But yeah, these adventures are always going to be very combat heavy. So without further ado, the adventures always start off with a little blurb, the little plot hook, basically. Why your adventurers are going on this adventure. Why they're on this quest. And so this one reads, centuries ago, a green dragon terrorized the civilized lands near its lair. As the beast grew in power, countless cult followers gathered. With the help of its worshippers, the dragon transformed into a rune-scribed Draco Lich. The dragon and his cult grew larger and more powerful over the centuries. This, of course, led to war with the surrounding nations. After terrible battles and much loss, the cultists were slaughtered, and the dragon destroyed, but its phylactery could not be found. The beast reformed, gathered new cultists, and again was defeated. The phylactery still could not be found. At this time, the powers of civilization decided not to destroy the beast, but instead to trap it, locking it away and setting various guards. Recently, a divination ritual performed by some of the party, blah, blah, blah. Basically, it goes on to say that the party finds out that the dragon awoke, and that's the shtick. You have to go and do something about it. So, cool. The lair is Mount Sorrowspire. Cool. The Draco Lich is not destroyed, right? We knew it was locked away. The ritual caster knows if the Draco Lich's imprisonment... knows of the dragon's imprisonment, and that its lich created immortality. There we go. But believes the destruction of the current incarnation is necessary to avoid a dire future. Cool. So basically, the players have this divination, this ritual that tells them if we don't destroy the Draco Lich, then everything's gonna go bad. Got a question in chat, Adrian asking, how do I play in one of these Sunday games? At this point, we haven't really opened it up yet to other folk. What I've done is I've played an adventure kind of at each different tier, so to speak. We've played a level 3, we've played a level 7, a level 14, and this will be our level 18, our big one. Just to give me a feel for how all these are going to work. And get a good idea for really how the pacing of these in actual streamed gameplay. At some point, we definitely are going to open this up to some of our higher tier D&D timers. So Adrian, you've been here forever. For up to 10.8, you've been here for a long time. So I don't think it's unreasonable to assume that you guys wouldn't be invited to play at some point, or would be invited. You'll be invited to play sooner or later. But at this point, we are keeping it fairly close to the chest. It's mostly just me and some of my very close friends I've been playing with for a long time, at least thus far. So anywho, yeah, that's our plot hook. There's an ancient Draco Lich of some kind. It's gonna wake up. The party has to defeat it. Sweet. So gonna open up my little notepad. The very first thing that I love to do, or I don't love to do, I need to do it, is I need to figure out what's our plot hook gonna be, because the book gives us one. What do we want to do for ours? So I think centuries ago, an ancient green dragon terrorized the civilized lands near a mount. And what was the mountain it used? Mount Sorrowspire. Brutal. Okay, that's a very D&D name. I feel like, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Are there any like actual real life mountains called like something like Mount Sorrowspire? Is there a Mount Doom Peak or something in real life somewhere? I mean, maybe there must be, right? Because I know there's like the there's something about like the Pits of Hell or something, which is a big active volcano opening. I don't know. I'm just wondering. Anyway, so dragon terrorized land near Mount Sorrowspire. After much fighting and terrible loss, the dragon and an ancient green dragon, Dracolich, and its cult terrorized civilized lands near Mount Sorrowspire. After much fighting and terrible loss, the dragon and its cult were defeated, and the Dracolich. Oh, sorry. And terrible loss. Its cult was defeated, and the Dracolich sealed away. Divinations. Divinations. What is it? Performed by the party and gifted by the gods have shown, have prophesized just a terrible fate. The awakening of the Dracolich. And the damnation of all. Of all. Cool. So that's a super straightforward kind of plot hook. It should show up on the screen in just a moment. And I think basically we're gonna go something like that. Maybe we want a little bit more. So yeah, our heroes have ventured into the tomb on Mount Sorrowspire. Flannel Pug, I knew someone would get me. Hey, Sword, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Flannel Pug, there is a natural pit of oil that is constantly aflame called the Gates of Hell. That's exactly what I was thinking of. It's not a volcano, I guess it's a pit of oil. That's brutal. God, there's gotta be a lot of smoke coming out of there. Have ventured into the tomb on Mount Sorrowspire. Bypassing some of its magical defenses. To destroy the Dracolich once and for all. Cool. That should be about good. I am a little worried about length, and basically I have this little area on my screen. If it fits in there, we're pretty good. It's a little quiet. We've had some chatting here and there. We got about 10 folk hanging out, so it's always good to be hanging. I think the first thing we need to know is we need to know the name of this Dracolich. Does anyone want to be anyone have any cool names or want to be this evil Dracolich? And I think actually I'm gonna change it from green to black because I think a black dragon's just cooler. I like acid more than poison. No, I just call it the Dracolich everywhere else. Yeah, does anyone want to be? Unless it's from the gallows. Yeah, I don't know, man. Adrian, you want to be the Dracolich? Adrian, do you want to just call it? You want to just call it Adrian the Dracolich? Or do you have a name for it? All right, I'm cool with that. Let's see. Okay. Adrian, the ancient Black Draco Lich, and their cult terrorized civilized lands. Defeated Sharks. Sealed away. Donate more of the party. The party have unveiled a terrible future. There we go. The awakening of the Draco Lich and the damnation of all. Of all things. Our heroes have entered into the tomb. I gotta change it by the party to our heroes. I don't know why. I really like using our heroes. The Draco Lich has a weakness to gluten. We'll have to keep that in mind. We'll give him vulnerability to gluten damage. I don't know if anyone can do gluten. If Pete plays it, God, no, there's no Lore Master Wizards here, so we're good. There's no gluten damage types. Gluten and olive oil. You know, I think of olive oil, I think of bread, because I like to dip the bread in the olive oil and just yum, yum, yum. I love that stuff. Old soy bones! Oh, dear God. We might be able to fit old soy bones in there somewhere. And build a terrible future. And, Adrian. I can get rid of the Draco Lich everywhere and just turn it to Adrian. Fighting the cult was defeated and Adrian sealed away. The awakening of Adrian. The damnation of all things. Destroy Adrian once and for all. Alright, Adrian, you're in. Have that be a minion or something? No, that's exactly what I was thinking. We can totally fit some of the minions to be old soy bones. It's excellent. Alright, so I'm gonna make a new little note here. We have our adventure hook. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I may want to like trim it down a little in the future just to make it a little smaller, but that should be fine. The old soy bones. Can Adrian constantly narrate his own actions? Okay, I like this idea. He narrates his own actions. See, I like I like this more collaborative building of the adventure. Minions of Adrian. Enemy of gluten? Okay, sure. I dig it. Shiba, you have succeeded. The contingency spell has worked and you've been transported to DnDTime. Contingency random mind flare because you can. We'll see. I have some other ideas from Mount Sorrowspire. But we'll figure out as we go. Cool. So we got our first start. The next thing the book is going to show us is right here. It's got a picture of basically what the layout is of the dungeon. Which it's just a pretty straightforward dungeon. You start here, you go to here, you go through this door, and you go into here. It's a very, very simple looking dungeon. And I think that's okay. Before we dive into Encounter 1, the book splits it up into 3 like encounters or acts or whatever you want to call them. And yeah, so each one's going to take part in a different room. This room, that room, and that room. And yeah, but before we dive into that, it gives you some little information on expanding the delve. The reason the Draco Lich is now, so it tells you some cool ideas that you could work with if you want to make this into a full-fledged kind of adventure. So the reason the Draco Lich is now a threat is because it's been working on magic very slowly to create a magical passage to Shadowfell and assemble an army there. Alright, cool. Magical passage to Shadowfell in the final room, and there you go. We have a cool way of tying everything together, right? Maybe there's Sorrowsworn, which are a cool new enemy reintroduced in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. A fortress ruled by a pit fiend and any number of devils. That might be cool. And powerful servants of Vecna maybe want it to. Maybe they've secured the Dragon's Phylactery and plan to use it to achieve some nefarious goal. So I dig all of that. None of that's really going to matter for this because, well, we're just running the one-shot. So let's go over to Encounter 1, Guardian Angels. So Encounter 1 should be a bit easy, should be a bit of a softball, I think. The idea for Encounter 1 is to soften the party up. It should be something that I think they can win pretty easily, but it might inflict a bit of damage on them, might scare them. If they play it really badly, it could really mess them up. Don't let Adrian encounter Sugar Mama, she's made of glucose. Oh, that's true! We gotta be careful. Draco Adrian, be afraid. Sugar Mama doesn't have a good record of cheap eating. Yeah, that's true. You know, she might be the expressed weak. Oh, actually, she made a sugar. Glucose sugar. Is that? I don't know if there's gluten sugar. I thought gluten's like wheat and stuff. I know it's wheat and stuff. Bothers me. Anyway, so Encounter 1, it gives us the list of monsters, right? First off, we look at Vecna's Silence and 7 Angel of Valor Warriors. Interesting. Angels and something about Vecna. Cool. Oops, I scrolled too far. And setup. So, the first, let me zoom in a little so you guys can actually read it. The first Guardians of the Draco Lich are angels serving Vecna for whatever evil plans they may have in mind. Which it says, for whatever deity fits your plans. They were placed here by servants of the foul deity to guard the Draco Lich until some upcoming plot is ready to be engaged. Alright, cool. The angels pretend to be guarding on the side of good, placed here to protect the creature against attempts to free it. So basically, the angels and the PCs are like kind of on the same deal, right? They want to keep the Draco... Well, I guess the angels want to keep the Draco Lich in here. The PCs want to kill it, so... it tells you the PCs teleport into the room onto a square marked X and all the squares adjacent to it. And it gives you a brief bit of what is now box text in the new adventures, but a little bit of flavor text for when players enter the room. It reads, 7 angelic figures glowing with a golden radiance turn toward you as you materialize. I guess you teleport in. Each wears shining chainmail and wields a greatsword. A similar creature, made of much larger and sporting wings, stands before you. It speaks. You are trespassing on a terrible place, and you must leave. Cool. So they're going to murder a bunch of angels is the first thing. I dig it. It then gives you some more ideas for how things would go. So it's angels. The party probably won't start by attacking, hopefully. And here's some cool information, cool time to RP. It says, Vecna's Silence attempts to converse with the PCs. At first, tries to trick them using bluff. Yeah, we're not going to... Bluff isn't a thing. It's deception, and we're not going to do that. I'm not going to make rolls to screw with the party. It's just, if they fall for my bullshit, they fall for my bullshit. When that doesn't work, it claims that the Cage of Force scenario allows the PC to see into the terrible future which is to come if they slay the imprisoned creature. Cool. So basically, there's a Cage of Force in this place. Cool. We jump to the next page. And it talks about tactics. I ignore those. And then features of the area. So let's actually scroll down a little further and look at the actual layout of the dungeon. Because I think the dungeon's pretty cool. Well, actually, it's fairly mundane. But it's got some cool features in it. Time to commit crimes against the heavens. Yay! Yeah, exactly, Bionic Sheba. Taste the rainbow. Kill the rainbow. So yeah, all these markers, the W's, are where creatures start. I've removed them on my copy of the map, but and then the X is where players spawn in. So players teleport in to here, and we're gonna just say like, yeah, getting past the first layer of magical defenses, you get to teleportation circle, and that brings you to the first level of the dungeon. So they just teleport in here, and then we got up in the top corner here. This is supposed to be the Cage of Force. Looks like a big brazier to me, but whatever. It's a Cage of Force that the angels tell you will let you see the future. And then there's a trap door, which if we scroll up, I mean, well, when we scroll up yet, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, this seems really simple to me. Really basic kind of dungeon lore. So features of the area, it's brightly lit. Light shines from the walls of the chamber. Okay, so I guess there'll be like torches or magical lighting of some kind. What else? A pit, I guess that's that guy up there. A narrow pit in the northwest corner leads down 200 feet to the next area. The pit is too narrow for large creatures. Yeah, so I guess the big angel guy can't fall unless they try and flee down it. Even medium creatures have to squeeze to traverse it. Okay, so they don't want to try and flee down it. Because of its size, it's easy to climb down, no athletics check, and a creature can stand on the square without falling, so that's good. And then the Cage of Force, that's this guy over here. In the southwest corner lies a cage, blah blah blah. The angels try and trap people in it. When they're trapped, they're restrained. Which I guess they're going to roll at disadvantage to get out of, I guess. Weird. It says restrained, save at a -5 penalty. That's really weird. I'm just going to say that if they get in there, they're trapped in there. And I'm just going to do that. Maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put a DC to, like, get out or something. Because this is a really weird save at a -5 penalty thing. Teleportation out of the cage does not work. Cool. I think what I'll do with that is I'll treat that like teleportation out of a normal force cage, which Dispel, the way it works, is they have to succeed on a charisma save against the spellcaster's DC, which in this case I'll use this big Vecna angel, the big angel as the thing for that. Cool. So far, so good. We've got a pretty good idea of how this first thing's going to go. The player's going to teleport in, be surprised that they aren't being killed by these angels, talk to the angels, get tricked by the angels, get locked in a cage by the angels, and then the battle probably starts then. And I imagine someone's going to get locked in that cage. And I really hope it's one of the spellcasters who can still do something from inside it, and not like a barbarian or something. That would suck. So let's look over here, and here they give you the stat blocks for all the monsters in the fight. Vecna's Silence, which is a large immortal human angel. Cool. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them look like normal angels until you like... Yeah, Adrian, I'm with you. I also hope it's Pete. I think in this adventure, I'm going to have these guys... Oh, I missed Ivalon. Sorry. Ivalon, welcome to the stream, bud. I didn't notice you there. Welcome to the adventure. If you have any cool ideas, feel free to chime in and help Adrian the Draco Lich destroy the guys, the dudes. Destroy Pete specifically. He can sit in the corner and write haikus about the battle. That's fair. Moon could do that. Anyway, so the angels. I'm gonna have them look like normal angels until they're hit for the first time, in which point probably their hellish, kind of corrupted black wings and stuff will be visible. So I guess my idea is I don't want them to just always look like normal angels, because they work for bad guys, at least per the adventure. So yeah, we'll figure it out. It has some abilities. I really don't care too much about these. We'll look at them later on when we're actually putting the adventure together. Cool. So Encounter 1, nice and simple. Encounter 2, which is called Magic Mutation Chamber. Oh, geez. Okay. And already I'm a little confused here as we're looking at Maroots. For those unfamiliar with a Maroot, more terrifying to regular angels not be corrupted but still working for evil. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with that, Avalon. I'll do that. I'll help them be regular angels still. I think that's cool. I dig it. It's also easier. But it's also... Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right, cool. So, we got these Maroot Battle Masters. Or maybe they're not even working for evil, right? Maybe they're actually just charged with making sure no one gets in to destroy the Draco Lich, so that it remains trapped. That'd be interesting. Cool, so... Maroots. For those who don't know what a Maroot is, another creature that was recently reprinted in Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. A Maroot is terrifying. It is just a gigantic, extraplanar, like, guardian of law, basically. It absolutely maintains and upholds contracts and agreements, and is incredibly powerful. It is terrifying. So, we're definitely going to put a Maroot in here. Maybe this Maroot will be the one that's kind of corrupted. Let's read what the setup is, though. Let's see what it says. Fearing that the angels might not be enough to contain the Draco Lich or keep its allies away, Vect and his followers also hired a band of Maroots to guard the Dracolich's chamber. The Maroots' room was given qualities that would make it impossible for the Dracolich to use his power to escape. The PCs drop in his room in the northwest corner, marked by an X. So I guess they drop down from the trap door above. Cool. Immediately below the hole in the room... Oh, right, on the X. Cool. As soon as they enter the chamber, the Maroots speak their warning. 2 rounds later, if the PCs are still in the room, the Maroots attack. If the PCs attack first, the Maroots do not wait for the 2 rounds. Alright, that's good. Let's see what the warning. As they enter the chamber, so as they jump down from the ceiling, it says, 6 creatures stand waiting. 2 of them appear to be large suits of armor, while the other 4 look like smaller suits of armor with great swords in their mailed hands. Wriggling arcane runes course over the chamber's walls. In a monotone, the robots speak in unison, or the creatures speak in unison. Turn back now, or perish. None are allowed here. Behind the largest creatures is a huge set of stone double doors, barred from this side. Cool! Awesome. I think, did I say stone double doors? I'll make them like adamantine double doors, or something like classically magic metal kind of deal. Bionic Shiva in chat. Killing the Dracolich throws the universe out of balance and activates a contingency if necessary. We'll see. I think the real idea is the Dracolich, we don't know where its phylactery is, right? So maybe once and for all is the wrong term for us to use in our description. I'll go back and edit that, but the idea is it's going to get out eventually anyway. So they have to destroy it now, at least force it to reform and take however long that will be. Cool. So we're fighting a bunch of robots. Cool. I dig robots. I think, again, this is another deal where, like, this doesn't have to be Vecnian, right? These robots can just be, like, regular guardians that were left to protect the temple. I'm down with that. I like the idea that these angels are actually still good. And you're killing the good angels because their duty is to keep this Dracolich from anyone getting to it. Let's see. The wards on the walls inhibit necrotic effects in the chamber. Oh, I love that. Okay. So, this is Encounter 2. So, actually, I forgot to make notes for Encounter 1. So, Encounter 1. I can't... Okay. There we go. I can't type, everybody. So, Encounter 1, I really like the force cage. So, angels... try to convince PCs that they cannot go further. Force cage in corner allows PCs to see a terrible future if Adrian is freed. And then, but not really actually a trap lol. Cool. These are the kind of notes I write to myself because it works for me. I think it's all we have for Encounter 1. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So Encounter 2, we're looking at right now runic walls. Runic walls. Runes on walls. Completely negate necrotic magic in this chamber. Oh geez, you know what I just realized? A lot of healing spells are necromancy. Not all of them, many are evocation, but stuff like revivify is just not gonna work in this room. Oh boy, I really hope that's not the first way they find out about that. Yeesh, this is a terrifying room. Alright, cool. So let's see. Tactics. The Maroots have no computations about killing... no compunction, sorry, about killing the PCs. They quickly engage. Alright, this is tactics. I don't care about tactics. Not rip healing, rip resurrection. Cool. So it gives us any of the Maroot battle masters, which I don't really care about. We'll look at these later. And it's... Actually, this is exactly where I want to be. I want to look at the map of the room. Great. Good work. Accidentally me. Map of the room, another really straightforward room. They fall out of the ceiling up here in the corner. The letters are where the monsters would start. Apparently, there are 4 pillars in this room. Whatever. Cool. Maybe they can use those for cover. And there are these 2 big guys in the back, and there's the big double doors there. This thing in the middle is, I guess, a big pit. Let's actually look over here. Illumination, bright light fills the chamber. Ah, great. I hate bright light. You can't do anything fun with dynamic lighting with bright light. There's a big trench. Needed to climb. Oh, it's 20 foot deep. Okay, so it's not like infinitely deep. Might be interesting to be infinitely deep. We'll think about that. I'm gonna write that down. Big trench. How deep? 20 feet? Infinite feet? I like the idea of it being like an infinitely deep trench, and the character starts to fall, and they're like, oh, I'm not hitting the ground. I cast teleport back up. You know? Just, I love this idea of just, cool. And then the double doors. Indestructible. Wow. They're giant adamantine. Oh, big adamantine bar. Oh, any creature other than the root that touches the door. Okay. Double doors. Oh, right. Adamantine double doors. Barred double doors. Haha. Is it just me or these rooms like really small? Yeah, man. They're tiny ass rooms. Like especially for a super high level adventure, I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I rolled this one randomly. That's why I picked it. There was another level 18 adventure I could have ran, but I know, whatever. I figured Draco Lich is cool. Especially with going to be a Draco Lich Plus, but anyway. Okay, so while Marut is alive, any character who touches the door makes con save. So it says an attack versus fortitude. Fortitude is basically something I used in 4th edition. We're going to just do Constitution saving throw. But actually, I like that idea. Making them feel like they're falling, but they're not really. Let's see. Oh, jeez. On a hit, the target's unconscious. Oh, God. Okay. Fall unconscious. I almost prefer paralyzed or paralyzed. I like paralyzed better. Save ends. I like the idea of a save ends for this because the only reason they're going to touch this door is if they're trying to like rush ahead, and I want to punish them for that real bad. Or if they somehow cheese. No, or if they cheese the goddamn Marut. If they like banish it or something, fuck you guys. Actually, it can plane shift at will, so it's going to come back every time. Cool. And I guess I really don't have to worry about the strength check to lift the bars. It's pretty obvious. Cool. Oh, I like this idea. The Draco Lich attacks the Marut, assuming the PCs are trying to rescue it. Interesting. So let's go down to our kind of third dude. The runes try and take their souls hostage. What rune? Oh, maybe. We'll say that. Maybe like runic soul binding on death? That might be interesting. I think that'd be way more interesting in a longer term adventure, but might still be cool here. Let's look what we got. Encounter number 3. An angry prisoner. Whoa! I guess this one's probably you, Adrian. This is our favorite Draco Lich. Again, go with the black Draco Lich. I like black dragons more than green dragons. That's the only reason. So there are only 3 enemies in this last fight. That's super important because that means this Draco Lich is the crown jewel. Like, this has to be the threat. And just before I even look at the room, I'm just going to scroll over and look at all the shit it can do in this stat block. There's tons of stuff. Exploding runes. Well, I don't like the idea of the walls just exploding. But we can figure that out. All right, let's keep digging. So, Read the setup. The Dracolich has spent so much time in this prison chamber that it has tried everything imaginable to escape. The very stone is rent in places, damaged by attacks both magical and physical. The latest plot, to create a passage into Shadowfell, is a decades-long project that is almost to fruition. The PCs must enter through the double doors because this chamber is protected against any other form of entrance, including teleportation. So that's super important. I'm going to write that right away on encounter 3. Encounter 3 cannot teleport in or out of room. Oh, let me put that on its own line. Bop. Cool. I super dig that. Nice, Ivalon. Classy with that one. Let's see. The PCs must enter the double doors. The Dracolich waits at the end of the room, and the rot spewers hide behind it. Cool. So we know where that is. Cool. Let's scroll down a little more. When they enter the room, read the draconic skeleton. A draconic skeleton. Its bones gleaming white and covered with glowing purple markings, rears up at your entrance. A surprisingly smooth and silky voice emanates from it. You have done well. I did not think I had any followers left in this world. I will reward you when we are out of this place. Dig it. So I'm going to write that down. Dracolich assumes the PCs are devoted cultists. Come to rescue it. Rescuer. Cool. I super dig that. Assumes some of its followers can be released from prison. If they play along, they're able to get so much of their advantage. Continuing to use for any length of time requires a bluff check against insight. All right, so PCs must deception versus Dracolich insight. Immediately cast Dragon Breath. They're too loud. Dracolich insight. To continue ruse, and of course, because this is Adrian the Dracolich, too much exposition leads to immediate attack from Dragon. Cool. I super dig it. What else? Let's see. We got some stuff going on in chat. Okay, check out the Shadow Dragon template in the 5e Monster Manual. Yeah, no, I was thinking about going with the Shadow Dragon, but I ended up, I think, deciding with the Dracolich. I like the Dracolich a lot, and I've got a really cool, I'll be honest, guys. I'll be real with you. I really love the token I have for the Dracolich, so that's why I'm going with the Dracolich. Adrian, I'm glad you liked my exposition comment. Immediately cast Dragon. Yeah. PCs become followers to Dracolich and Ravage. Yeah, right. There's a chance, right? There's a total possibility here that my players just go off the fucking deep end and decide, like, oh, hey, we love the Dracolich, and then this is gonna be a really weird adventure where they just murder the town. But hopefully that doesn't happen. I probably won't. Perception check. Refuse and debris behind the Dracolich and animated creatures. Okay, so upon entry, passive perception of blah 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 sees the rot spewers. We'll get to the rot spewers in a minute. And I think we can call the rot spewers the soy boys. Or what did we call them earlier? Old soy bones. Excuse me. I'm full of hiccups and all sorts of coughs and whatnot. Then they have tea. Yeah, they all have tea after they destroy the town, of course. This is just how life goes. All right, we got the Dracolich stats here. We'll get back to him later when we're actually building him. And let's jump down to the next tab. We got the rot spewers. Don't care about them. Let's look at the map. This is a very boring looking map. There's an open area with some side places that aren't anything in particular. Adrian, you said explosive traps, right? Explosive traps on side areas, corners. So I like the idea, right, of the Draco Lich has planned for people to come and attack it and has trapped the obvious areas to go in expectation that if it were attacked, they would go there. So maybe we got like in these little corners here, that's where we'll throw some explodey runes. I'm gonna look at Glyph of Warding. It's a pretty straightforward spell for a magical creature like a Draco Lich to do. Make a mannequin of bread dressed in an outfit to claim costume. Oh, jeez. Really lame explosives. Yeah, I mean, Glyph of Warding and, like, produce flame or something. Something just, like, silly that terrifies the absolute shit out of the players that it just happened. But then, like, it's really not all that much. Cool. All right. Sweet. So, where are we at now? Right. So, we figured out what we're going to be doing. Looks like there's a weird, like, pot of blood in the middle of the room. I don't know what that is. Hopefully, we're going to get to that now. I'm going to ignore the tactics section because, like, I don't really care. That is specifically referring to, like, abilities that the creatures had in 4E. And since we're going to use 5E stuff, whatever. Features area. Illumination. Brightly lit. Glow from the walls. Oh, the Draco Lich can turn off the lights of the minor action. Oh, I dig that. Oh, I super dig that. So, as a bonus action, the Draco Lich can remove all light from the room. I super dig that. Can remove normal lights in room. Or natural lights. I super dig something like that, right? Because first, it's going to be cool with the dynamic lighting. Secondly, it's going to scare the shit out of the player characters, especially if any of them are dumb humans without dark vision. God, little hostile on my part. And thirdly, I just think it's fucking cool. It's a Draco Lich's lair. So, like, it's not really exactly its lair because it's been trapped and imprisoned here, but, like, it's got some influence over this place. It's a super powerful draconic entity. Dark presence. Each creature since walls takes. Oh, gains resistance to what? Okay, weird. I don't really care about that. Dark presence. Yeah, maybe like presence. Corrupted wall. I don't like this. I'm just gonna get rid of that. Screw that. Adrian sets the mood by dimming the... Oh, I'm gonna put that in there. Because remember, Adrian narrates his actions. This is gonna be hilarious. This is no longer as terrifying as well, it's still terrifying, but it's no longer just terrifying. It's also amazing. Oh, yes! Oh. Hand clap. The clapper. Except it's terrifying dragon claws. Skeletal dragon claws. Alright, so this thing in the middle is the Arcane Well. What's the Arcane Well? The Draco Lich created an area of magical concentration in the center of the chamber. A power with the Arcane keyword used by a creature standing on blah blah blah. Critical hit on the 1920. Following spells in the Draco Lich. Cool. Alright, that's weird, but whatever. Arcane Well. In center of room. Spells and non-divine abilities, or really just non-divine magic. Magic gain advantage on attack rolls, or creatures have disadvantage on saves while adjacent. Or advantage on saves against while creature is adjacent. So basically, the Draco is just going to have advantage on everything, all out spells and stuff. That's pretty good. Debris, the staircase in the center, eastern end of the room, represents debris, difficult terrain. Cool. So scroll up. That's just all difficult terrain, so it's just difficult terrain instead of stairs. I was wondering why the fuck there are random, like, sideways stairs. Difficult terrain at end of chamber. Alright, cool. You know, he should lay down, usually raising his eyebrows. Why, hello. I'm Adrian, the Draco Lich. Anyway, his hands make xylophone noises. Broop. Excellent. Cool. So we're pretty much ready to start putting together everything in Roll20. So basically, this next like 20 minutes, half hour, is going to be me setting up Roll20. I'm going to move this guy over here. We're not going to need the map or the book right now. We're going to jump back to it in a minute. So here I have a brand new page in Roll20, and it is a horrible garish white. So I'm going to fix that immediately. First thing I want to do is go here, hit gray, and there we go. Way nicer. I hate the, make that a little darker. I'll actually make it black and make it lighter. There we go. Cool. So this is what our maps are going to look like. We have map 1, map 2 over here, and map 3 at the end. Nice and simple. It's actually an extremely simple map. So I've already pulled the pieces in here and resized them. The bright side about using maps that are wonderful little squares like this is they're super easy to fit to the Roll20 squares, which is super important for something we're going to do later. Let me get a quick drink of water. Can the contingency be like a Solar or other Archangel coming down to punish them for breaking up the Draco Lich and killing a bunch of angels? I think that's a cool idea. Maybe it'll be like, maybe I'll use an Empyrean, right? That'll be our super backup. If somehow the party gets through this and it's like a cakewalk, we'll have an Empyrean come down and be like, you've destroyed the Draco. Oh, no, you know what? It'll show up like toward the end of the Draco Lich fight to defend the Draco Lich, because it needs the Draco Lich to live so that it can't reincarnate with its phylactery somewhere else. So we'll keep that in mind for later. I see Bionic Shiba in the chat mentioned it. I love having a contingency in mind for if these adventures are way easier than I had in mind. Because, like, the adventure sucks if it's just a total cakewalk. But I also don't want it to be so hard that players just feel like they have no chance. So anyway, let's just jump right in. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my dynamic lighting. I have all of these maps. You see I can't click on them. That's because I am on the token layer here. You can set that on Roll20. They're all on the map layer. So if I go to the map layer, I can click on them again and I can move them around, but I like them when they're there. I'm going to go to dynamic lighting. This is going to be super important. Oh, I should probably turn dynamic lighting on. So I click on settings, I scroll down and I toggle on dynamic lighting, enforce line of sight. I do not toggle global illumination because that would make players see everything, which I don't understand why that's an option. I'm sure it has a purpose and I just don't know it. So, dynamic lighting, the way this works is basically you draw lines, and those lines are going to block line of sight. So I'm going to pick a color, a bright color that I'll recognize, like teal here, and I'm going to start drawing. Because all my maps are fairly square, I'm going to start off by holding Shift, clicking a point, and then clicking a second point. And because I'm holding Shift, it makes a perfectly straight line. And you can see it's actually very tiny, so maybe I want to make that small, so maybe you can see it a little better. Or maybe I'll turn dynamic lighting off for now. We'll turn it back on later. Right now we're just setting up the lighting. So we've set that up. We'll draw another line here. Again, holding Shift to kind of box it in. The very first thing you want to do is to make sure you boxed in the map. Because you don't want players being able to move their tokens outside of the map and accidentally see stuff about the future, about the other maps. So we've drawn that right now. Now here we have squares that are like halfway. So these guys, I'm just going to click and then click. I'm not holding Shift. And then oh, that's bad. So I'm going to hit Control and Z to undo. And then click again. There we go. Much better. And then to finish off the lighting, I'm just going to right click, and now I've unselected that line. So this is really nice. It's going to look, well, I mean, it'll be pretty boring for this room. There's not a lot going on, but... And right click again, and boom. So there's nothing in particular in this chamber that really does anything special. So I think we're done with this chamber for at least setting that lighting up. So this chamber, we're going to do the same thing. Going to holding Shift. We're going to click, and I'm actually going to do a whole bunch of lines here, just to make it easy. And you see they're all continue to be connected here. Cool. And then we're gonna do the same thing right there with click, 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 scroll down, click. And you see I'm crossing over here just to make sure we finish off that corner so no light's gonna bleed through. Here I'm gonna leave this blank because that's their big pit. I don't want the pit to block light because they can see over the pit to this other area. Here we have what's gonna be 3 or 4 pillars. Now, you might think, oh shit, how do I draw a circle? And your first thought is to use Roll20's Draw Shape tool, which you can hold Alt to draw a circle. Problem is that works terribly for dynamic lighting. It just doesn't work. So the easy, super easy way is I zoom all the way in, which I'm holding Alt and using the scroll wheel to zoom like this. And I'm going to click on the top of the circle, and then the bottom of the circle, and then I'm going to draw a line, bisecting it. And that's it. It's done. That pillar is going to look awesome and perfectly circular with dynamic lighting. And I'm just going to repeat that for all 4 of them. And you can see here I'm off like ever so slightly, maybe. Maybe you probably can't even tell in the Twitch stream. And that's fine. It doesn't matter. It can be slightly overflowing, it can be slightly underflowing. It's going to look great. Because that's just how the dynamic lighting works. Alright, cool. So, we've drawn our little squares there. We've got these big pillar things here. I don't think I need to draw any lighting on those, because, like, they look like they're just things people can stand on. Doesn't look like they're solid. So I think that's all the lighting in that chamber. The next thing we need to do is this. I'm going to do an extra large, and I'm going to make it another bright color. We're going to pick orange. And I'm going to, again, holding Shift, draw a line, and then click on that line. I'm going to hold Alt, and then use the arrow keys to kind of bump it over a little, and maybe not extra large. That might have been too big. Maybe just large. And what that will do, or actually, I should make it thin. That way people can see the door. Huh. Okay, so ignore like half of what I just said. I'm trying to select it now. This is one of the problems with using something thin for lighting. This is really bad. Why will you not do this thing? Okay. Really? Oh, my connection to the server has been interrupted. That's probably my problem. Let me refresh it real quick, because it seems I'm having issues with dynamic lighting. Wow, this dynamic lighting is super difficult. I'm exactly with you, Bionic Shiba. This dynamic lighting is so hard. It's really a struggle for me. Alright, we're going to select that, and it's still not letting me do it. That is so irritating. I'm actually livid right now. Okay, so hopefully it's just gone, maybe? Even though it shows it? Man, that's so frustrating. Hopefully that's not an actual issue we're going to have to deal with. I'll figure it out later. Roll20 can be great and terrible. Anyway, the reason you make it thin is so that people can actually see the door, right? Because if you made it really thick, it'd cover the whole door and people wouldn't be able to see it. Anywho, I'm just going to keep going and draw lines. Again, we got small setting, holding Shift, and we're just going to click, 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 click. And it all just, I can be like, see I'm clicking right here. Oh, I still made the perfect line down. And it did that because it snaps to the grid while you're holding Shift, which is really convenient. Cool. So we've drawn our lines all around. Oh, I zoomed too far out. We've drawn our lines all around everything here. Looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. This is why we use our magic mind. Or our mind magic. I know, right? If I could use my mind magic to just make this work, it'd be great. So here, we've got this big cylinder deal. God, how do I want to handle that? Do I want that to block vision at all? I don't think I need it to block vision. I think we're okay with it just kind of how it is. Alright, so I think we're good. This is a really simple dynamic lighting. And now we're going to just quickly show off it working. So we're going to go into here, our art library, that's what it's called. We're going to search torch, like I always do. I'm just going to grab a torch. Do I want that? Yeah, I want like Yeah, I'll just grab that torch. It's just a picture of a torch. Whatever. It really doesn't matter. We're on the objects and tokens layer now. Important to know. I'm going to double click on the torch. I'm going to say all players can see light. And I'm going to say 40 and 20 because that is the radius of light from the torch. And I'm going to say it has sight. It shouldn't have sight, but that's fine. Cool. So now if I hit Control and L, nothing happens. And the reason for that is I don't have dynamic lighting turned on. But if I turn it on, everything's plunged into darkness, and you can see the torch. And I hit Control L, and whoa, this is what the torch can see. So I move him around. All right, good job, Mr. Torch. I click off of him to get him off that, and I'm going to move him over to here. We're going to see what the torch can see here. Control L, and okay, cool. And you can see it looks bad because it's just white with the black, but that'll look good later when we change the background color to blue. You know, let's do that now. Background color is now black, and I can totally get rid of the, well, I'll keep the grid a little bit. Not that it matters. And there we go. The background color is black. Wow, those pillars look great. Oh, Control L again because I accidentally clicked. And you can see there's this big pit area. Maybe I should do something to clarify that it's actually like a pit, right? And you jump to here, and man. Okay, so the orange line is blocking sight, which is annoying. I drag him over to here, Control L. Whoop! And this is what players will see as soon as they enter the room, which is pretty cool. They can just see it kind of like going out into distance. And actually, from here, you can't even tell like how far those wings are actually going, which could be really cool. I super dig it. All right, so unclick. We don't need to look at that right now. We zoom out and we see I made the background all black. That's great. That's what I was exactly wanting to do. Nice and simple. So let's talk about this guy here. How do I make that look better? Let me go here to the art library. And these art assets, by the way, are just things just kind of on the web that I'm using. So if I search like cliff. That's not good. None of this is what I want. How do I make that not look bad? Oh. Are you gonna be helpful? Nope, you're just totally dark. Let me give you a tint color. Ah, there we go. So I've just taken a random icon, but whatever. Regular resize you icon. I'm gonna stretch it, so haha. And the way I made it that color is I give it a tint color of white, or gray in this case now. So we can see that that kind of just goes down. I'm holding Alt to squish it. Gonna click, gonna paste. Cool, we got another one. And we're gonna rotate that guy. Awesome. So maybe that might be a little more visible that it's a pit. I don't know. Alright, I'm bad at this. New attempt. New plan. We're gonna regular just totally resize everything here. We're gonna stick them up against the wall. Holding Alt to like move them around. Alright, so hopefully that shows maybe a little better that it's just a big pit. Maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna move these guys. Well, let's just scoot them over a little bit more. Cool, I think that shows it's a good pit. We're going to move them to the map layer. We're gonna go back to the map layer. Gonna go to them again. Oh. Cool, we're gonna hit to back. I can click another one and to back. And there we go. We have just kind of fudged our way into making that actually look kind of like a pit. Yeah, Sword, right now the point system is not actually going to work on while I'm doing this kind of casual stream. We're not tracking points for this stream. This is just a chill hangout. You know, if you want to be here, great. I'm super down, but we're not, yeah. The points is only for the produced stuff that Pete and I both run. I say produced, the more produced stuff. I want to cast Fireball. I want to cast Meteor Swarm in these rooms for overkill. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Meteor Swarm is going to be a pretty good spell, which they will have access to now at this level. So, cool. We've tossed all the lighting and everything together. Great. Nice and simple. Now, I have already gone and tossed in Squid Attack! I've already tossed in some tokens to use for some of the dudes, and we're going to talk about some of the dudes, some of the enemies. So first, let's scroll up to the top. Let's look at adventure number or encounter 1, the Guardian Angels. So I think first, let's just look at what angels we have. I've looked at all of the angels that currently exist in 5th edition. And one of the things I could do is I could take a non-angel and brew it as an angel. And feels like a level 17 fight. Okay, Adrian, we're just going to have to make you super powerful to make up for that. And it'll be good. So, what was I saying? Brain. Right, I looked at all the angels, and there were a bunch to choose from. But basically, the 3 big ones were, well, the 4 big ones were the Deva, which is a challenge rating 10 creature. Okay, not too bad. The Solar, which is a challenge rating 21 creature. It's a pretty serious, threatening creature. This thing is not nothing to, shake a stick at. It's pretty scary. And there was the Planetar, which is something in between. I think for our purposes, we can use the Solar as our big angel, our Vecna's Silence, because I think that'd just be cool. I think the Solar is sick. It has some really sick abilities. Yeah, I think it'll be plenty threatening. And then we can use our Deva for our other angel. Maybe buff the Deva a little. I'm not sure. I don't know how a +8 really is going to hold up against these guys. I don't know what the party is yet. I don't know what they're playing. Wait, I've been infected by a Mind Flayer? Ah, shit. Alright, whatever. I'll be a Mind Flayer soon. Or they'll eat my brain. Joke's on them, they'll get dumber. Cool. So, Deva. What do I want to do? Do I want to make these guys stronger? Yeah, you know what? Let's make them have a 20 strength. And so we can give them an extra +1 to hit to account for that. So they're actually going to have +9. And I guess they're not wielding great swords, like I said before. They're wielding, I think, probably maces, which they'll still hit pretty hard. It's going to average for 18 + 7 damage on 2 melee attacks each. These things are going to hit like train. So basically, they either kill all these Devas or they get run the fuck over. So we're going to do something interesting. In 4th edition, there was an interesting thing called minions. And the way minions worked are minions are creatures with 1 hit point. Generally speaking, they've got... oh, take care, Flannel Pug. It was good having you hang out. Let's see. So minions had 1 hit point, and they have very high defenses. And so what we're going to do is we're going to buff up these Davis defenses, and we're going to make them minions. So we are going to say they have a natural armor of 17. We're going to give them a... Well, let's look at that, actually. Solar. Before we do that. Solar has a +7 to wisdom. Holy shit. I don't think I can buff these guys up +7 with their armor. That's huge. Ooh. Oh, man. Well, you know what? We said they were wearing chainmail. So chainmail is 16. Chainmail plus Angelic Blessing. And so my Angelic Blessing is just going to be the Solar adds its Wisdom modifier to the armor class of its allies. So, boom. Becomes a 23. We're going to give them 1 health. And, so cool. We have our 1 health angels. They have pretty high armor. 23 is nothing to, shake a stick at. They have magic resistance, which is great, but they also have avoidance, which is a feature that characters can have in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And what avoidance says, if this creature would fail a saving throw against an ability which would deal half damage on a failure. It instead takes no damage. Cool. So basically, an ability that would do half damage, like a fireball or a cone of cold, if the Deva saves, it takes nothing. And that's because it has 1 hit point, so we don't want to just destroy it there. What else does this thing have? It's got some spells: Commune, Raise Dead, Detect Good and Evil. Ooh, I like the idea of it being able to, them being able to raise each other. We'll keep that as an option. That might be interesting. But Raise Dead's not an action spell, so I don't know if we'll ever use this spell casting at all. I'm not too worried. We have its mace, which has radiant damage built in because of its angelic weapons. Cool. Great. I dig it. And Healing Touch. I don't know if we're ever going to use this ability, actually, or Change Shape. I don't think we're going to use either of these, but that's fine. We have our mace. These guys are mostly just to smash people and to be angels. Cool. So we'll just kind of plop them on. We got one of them there. And we're going to look at him. We don't want him to emit light or have sight because we just don't care, really. We're going to have bar 3 be their health. Oops. 1 and 1. Cool. Just going to make a whole bunch of these guys. And where else did they go? Oh, the torch. That guy's right there. I'll say form a nice little triangle thing. Cool. So we have all those guys on. Hurrah! And I really like the idea of just keeping them like that. It's funny, they don't actually give them stats here. Which I haven't noticed that in the rest of this book. Oh, I guess they do. They're just pitiful stats. That's it, they just deal damage. Alright. Whatever. Wow, they just really do nothing. So I guess that makes sense that these guys are what they are. AC 40. Well, oh, 4th edition. So let's scroll up to Vecna's Silence, because that's our real big bad for this chamber. 1,280 hit points. Okay. We're just going to roll its hit points and have whatever it would normally be for a Solar, because it's a CR 21 creature. Spell casting, what can it cast? It can cast a couple spells. I don't think we're going to use any of those. We may use Resurrection as a weird, different resurrection to, like, bring the Deva back. Basically, summon and Deva. But who knows? Maybe we won't. So we probably won't use spell casting. It knows if it hears a lie. I like this, right? Because the party needs to be forthright to these creatures, and they know if you lie. I dig that. Angelic Weapons, same thing as the other Deva had. Just deals more damage on its attacks. Magic Resistance, just great. We're not going to give the Solar Avoidance because he's not a minion. This guy's going to have, like, almost 250 health, I think. All things considered. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to have in the 230s, I think. So he's going to be pretty strong. And let's see, he's got a greatsword, a slaying longbow, and he can make his greatsword fly around and slash people. He's got legendary actions to teleport, do a searing burst, and a blinding gaze. So we're just going to keep those all right as is. Let's look in the book at what Vecna's Silence could otherwise do. Scroll down, does cold and fire damage. Alright, well, we do radiant damage, whatever. 4 longsword attacks. We make 2, but ours hit really hard. So I think we're okay with just 2. Sign of Vengeance. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't think we need that. Cold Fire Pillar. The end of its next turn. What? I see. When it's bloodied for the first time in an encounter, it does this thing. That's sick. Where do I put that? 4th edition had a lot of these really sick abilities for its bosses where, like, something happens when it's bloodied on the first time in an encounter. Cold Fire Pillar. Free, I'm sorry, I'll make this a reaction. Reaction when bloodied. 1 per day. And what'll it do? Each creature within, what is it, close force 2, so 10 feet, so it's fairly small, must succeed on a DC, what's the DC? 25, Jesus. 25, dexterity, they used reflex, it's the same thing as dexterity. Saving throw, or take 4d8 fire damage. Or you know what? I'll have this one be the 4d8 cold and 4d8 fire damage. Cool. So it's cold fire. Haha. I'm clever. Effective sounds is immune to all damage. I think I'm gonna have it have resistance. The Solar gains resistance to all damage until the end of its next turn. Nice. That's really cool. I super dig it. It's going to be pretty cool. That's all I got. Let's roll its health. Let's see how much health he's actually got. Scroll over. 226. I was pretty close. And I don't think I care about any more of these abilities. I think we're good with just the one kind of special Hua, especially since this is like just kind of the first battle, you know? I don't really care that much. We don't need to make this crazy. It's gonna have 226. And that means at 113 cold fire. Alright, that doesn't help. That doesn't help either. Cool. He's just got that much health, whatever. I don't really care. I use the red bar for health. I like it more because it overlays in the token. So yeah, we're pretty much done with room 1. Nice and straightforward here. Boop, we're in room 2 now. God, I like how that cliff pit thing works. It looks good, I think. If you don't think so, that's okay. It's okay to believe I have bad taste. So, anyway, let's look at this second room. This room's gonna be horrifying. So, a Marut, he's this fellow here. He's a friend. It's terrifying. In the lore of Dungeons & Dragons, a Marut is basically an animated construct of absolute law. It has a contract written upon the plating on its chest, and if anything is to violate that contract, it will destroy them. So I think the contract here, right, is between like the angels and the humans, right, of the realm around Mount Sorrowspire to keep the Dracolich forever trapped beneath. So if the players try and get past, they're violating the contract, the Marut kills them. Cool, we've made it work. Let's look at what the Marut actually does. CR25, this is a beastly monster. This could be the boss in its own right. Got a ton of health. This is going to be really hard to kill. Great armor class. It can fly. It's just great. Spellcasting, it can cast plane shift at will. So if you banish it, it comes back. What is it immune to? Charm, frightened, paralyzed, poison, unconscious, but not incapacitated. So banishment will do something against it. Except it won't do that much because, remember, while the Marut's alive, you get paralyzed if you fail a save touching the door. Speaking of which, let's pick that DC. Let's pick, based on the Marut's, probably Charisma. That's a spell casting thing he'd probably use. Or maybe not Charisma, maybe Intelligence. Well, they're both +4. Does that ever save? It's going to be 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 8. So, right? Just 18? Yeah, alright, whatever. Con save DC 18. Boop. Oh, paralyzed. So, cool. We got a Marut. And this, ignore the Marut Battlemaster here. Can you contract to revive it afterwards? Absolutely not, Bionic Shiva. That's like the worst thing you want to do, is set a Marut berserk. That sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. That, like, sounds like a bad campaign. Not a bad campaign, like, the plot to, like, a really weird campaign. So he can always teleport back, so yeah, have fun banishing this guy. He can't be polymorphed or anything. Sick. He's got legendary resistance. I might get rid of that. We'll see. Especially since he has these countermeasures built in. So we're gonna maybe not. And he's got magic resistance, which is already minor cheating. So let's see. He's got multi-attack. He makes 2 slam attacks, which just automatically hit and do 60 force damage. Whoo, okay. So brutal. This guy is just going to be whipping out 120 points of damage every turn until they kill him. This might be just fatal. We'll see. Blazing Edict, 45 radiant damage. I don't think I want to use this ability. It's maybe. We'll see. And Justify is totally irrelevant here. We don't want to banish people out of the game because it's the game. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't turn him into a snail, then feed him to a giant. Dang, it's almost like that happened last time, and I didn't. Anyway, so we got 1 merit. We don't need more than 1. More than 1 would be absolutely unreasonable overkill. Because, oh my god, what's this? Is this another Marut? Why did I drop 3 of them on here? Anyway, so those are the Maruts. They're incredibly overpowered. So we don't want more Maruts. I think the closest thing we're looking for is maybe this Iron Golem. I picked up the Iron Golem because they're also big metal construct men, and they hit people really hard, which is what these guys do. And I think that's pretty much all I need. I think what I'll have these guys do is I'll only have them have a smaller number of hit points, maybe, or something, because they're immune to fire and poison, and it's like they're immune to a bunch of stuff, so it might be cool to and they actually regain hit points from fire. Oh, immutable form, magic resistance, magic weapons. Yeah. Cool. He's got a big sword attack that hits like a truck, and he's got this terrifying poison breath. So I might not use the poison breath. I might treat the poison breath of all of the Iron Golems as 1, but we're gonna drag 4 of them on. Boop, boop. Oh, geez, they're huge. Boop. Boop. Oh, we accidentally dragged him into the other chamber. What? So this is the room I use to execute players, right? Iron Golems are notoriously hard to kill. They are so brutal. We're only going to give them 100 hit points each because I want the players to have a chance, but this is not going to look good for the players at this point, I think. I'm really frightened that this room is going to be way too much for them. At the very least, they're taking a goddamn rest at the end of it. Probably a long rest. Speaking of long rests, I think it'd be really cool to have something show up if they fail their long rest. And I think what I'm going to use these guys, the Angry. The Angry are another monster from Mordenkainen's Tomb of Foes. They are what are called Sorrow Spawn. They are from the Shadowfell. And I thought they'd be super fitting for this adventure, right? Because that's where the Dracolich is trying to get to, the Shadowfell. So maybe the Dracolich has transported or created the Angry. The Angry are kind of the embodiment of hatred and anger, is their feel, their vibe. So, like, yeah, I think that's cool. They're really simple, too. They just hook people with their weird hook hands, which you can't see in this picture. And they get mad every turn if they get hit, which is cool. And they have disadvantage to hit if they aren't mad. So, I don't know. I dig them. I think maybe, like, a bunch of the Angry showing up if the party tries to take a long rest would be cool. I think I'll let them take a short rest for free. Like, nobody bothers them. But if they go for the long rest, if the Dracolich has been waiting hundreds of years, wait a few extra hours. That's absolutely true, Bionic. See if I can. Yeah, right. Oh, I love that. The angry are the ones that that the Draco has been calling out to in the Shadowfell. I dig it. I'm gonna write that down. Long rest encounter. The angry show up. Actually showing up to rescue the Draco. Oh, Adrian. Gotta refer to that. Awesome. So, I mean, that was a pretty easy one to set up. A whole lot of switching over encounters from 4th edition to 5th edition is just knowing the... Yeah, exactly. Adrian's so salty about being locked away that... or about the amount of exposition that's going into this adventure right now, of setting everything up, that he has created the angry. Cool. So... that's pretty much it. What I was saying, a huge part of converting these adventures from like 4e to 5e is just knowing what kind of surrogate monsters you can use to make them more or less the same. It's rare that a creature will be way more powerful in one edition than another. It does happen, but or way weaker. But for the most part, it should be pretty straightforward. Like, there's nothing called a Marut champion. That doesn't even make sense in the lore of Dungeons and Dragons anymore, the way they've rewritten the Marut. So, whatever. I just think it's cool to have a Marut here. That's all. We're good. Oh, I didn't roll the Marut's health. Let's do that. Let's see how much health you got, Marut. Marut! You have 404. Oh my god. Alright, so... this is going to be a slog. They're going to have a real hard time getting through here. They're probably going to try and cheese it and then get paralyzed in the door. Cool. So we're in the last chamber now. Before we do the Draco Lich, I think what I want to do is I want to get the Bone Claw, or rather, his Rot Spewers figured out. So the Rot Spewers, I get it. They're undead. That makes sense, Draco Lich. The name Rot Spewer didn't really make sense to me, and there's nothing in 5e that makes sense for that. So I wanted Bone Claws. I thought Bone Claws would be cool. Again, new creature from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I really like the book. And, they're just cool. They have a slight regeneration. While they serve their master, they never truly die. They'll always come back, which is sick. Or will their master survive? So they serve Adrian tirelessly. They can hide as a bonus action in shadow, which is cool, and that'll work super well with the Draco Lich's ability to control the light. Which, swag, that just kind of worked out that way. Cool. Their CR12, which is like definitely threatening, but not like ludicrous for this level. They make 2 attacks, and they're nice and simple. They can teleport and spook people. Yeah, they can only do too much, but it's cool. I think the idea, right, is if they leave the door open, the Bone Claws might, like, shadow jump people back into the other room. I don't know. I think they're neat. And at the very least, they're cool claw attacks. So, that grapple, which I think is going to be super cool for this fight, or super helpful. So we're going to just drag them on. Bop, and bop. Oh my goodness, they're very big. I don't like that they're so big. That's okay, though. Are they large creatures? Yeah, they are. Damn. So they're hiding in the back, just kind of being them. We're going to see what kind of HP we're looking at for these guys. We're going to get rid of all this sight, because I don't like that they give enough light. I'm going to roll his HP. 131 and 110. That's like exactly the amount of HP I want these things to have, right? Not like too much, but not too little. Like a good meteor swarm is gonna wreck these guys. And if the player has saved their 9th level spell all the way up until after going through the Marut and those iron golems, God bless them, they deserve to trash these things. So finally, my favorite part, we're on to our very own Runescribe Draco Lich. I love Draco Liches. They're just cool. I just super dig them. They're a ton of fun. So I made a cool icon for you, Adrian. You get to be Jeremy's sick Draco Lich. Come on, hover over. I can't look at it. Boop. Oh, look how good he looks. Oh, I love it. It makes me so happy. This is why sometimes I do things in Photoshop, and it makes me really pleased. Obviously, I didn't draw this fucking Draco Lich, but I edited his horn away, and I made him all black and stuff, and I don't know, I super dig it. He looks so cool. So that's you, Adrian. You're creepy. In a good way. And the template I have in here is just Ancient Black Dragon. And it's going to be really... Oh, hey, Plunder! How's it going? I haven't seen you all day. Welcome, welcome. We're at the kind of the tail end here, working on Adrian, our Ancient Draco Lich, but... yeah, right? Exactly, Adrian. Sick! Anyway, I just grabbed the Ancient Black Dragon as a template, and that's going to be perfectly fine, because we're going to look at the only Draco Lich that's in the book, which is the adult blue Draco Lich. And we're going to see what makes a Draco Lich a Draco Lich. So I'm going to open up the adult blue dragon. Put them side by side. And we're going to see what the real differences are between the two of them. Ah, well, you know what, Plunder? I'm real glad you're out of work. You should sit back, have a nice drink, and chill. I wish I had a nice... Well, actually, I don't. I can't do... I need to drink water while I'm talking this much. For a dog, he seems like fun. Like, looks dog like he seems fun. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Does he really? He does look a little doggo-like, doesn't he? Anyway. Alright, so let's look at these two guys. So, first thing I want to look at, right? Armor class, hit points, any special movement. None. They're identical. 19, 19, same rolls. They're basically the same thing. Stats, identical. I'm a little surprised the Draco Lich doesn't have like a higher constitution or something, but I guess that would impact his health, so whatever, sure. Identical. Saving throws are the same. Skills are the same. It comes to resistances and immunities that change. So, the Draco Lich now has, can open another new tab. I love Notepad. It gains resistance, necrotic, and it has immunities, poison. We already had immunity to lightning, so that's not a new one. And then condition immunities. And with this one, I'm just gonna click on all of those. Cool. Because the old dragon, the blue dragon, doesn't have immunity to any condition. Hey, Flannel Pug, welcome back! You're just in time. We're working through what makes a Draco Lich. So it gets these immunities: Charm, Exhausted, Frightened, Paralyzed, Poisoned. Alright, I dig it. I don't think any of these really matter a ton. I guess he can't be paralyzed or poisoned, so... Hold Monster actually doesn't do anything. Oh, shit. That's actually really cool. And Poisoned actually could be huge, because immunity to poison damage and poison condition is pretty serious. Legendary Resistance, I think I'll let Adrian keep his Legendary Resistance. I don't think I'll take it away, because he's the big bad. Unless they're totally fucked. Like, if they're getting absolutely wrecked, I'm not going to take it away. Unless they're getting absolutely wrecked, I won't take it away. So we scroll down, and all of their attacks and abilities are the same. Oh, nice and simple. Oh, they aren't the same, actually. 19 dex save, 20 dex save. Why is 20? Is this a higher challenge? Oh! It's because the adult blue... And actually, all of its hits are the same. Why is all the same, but its save is different? That might just be a typo on my part. I might have screwed that one up. But I think I'll just keep all that the same. Its legendary actions are the same. So, really, the only differences are we tack these conditions and immunities on, and boom, we have a Draco Lich. So, back to our Ancient Black Dragon. Ah, he's so beautiful. And we are going to edit the character here. We're going to scroll down, go in under condition immunities, give him all of those. Immunities to damage. He's immune to poison. Oh, lowercase p. And resistance to necrotic. And great. We just did it. Done. We have turned an ancient black dragon into an ancient black Draco Lich. Just like that. Super easy. That being said, we're not done there. Let's not be ridiculous. This is a rune-scribed Draco Lich. This thing is ultra powerful. It is supposed to be truly menacing. It doesn't need to breathe, so we don't need Amphibious anymore. So I guess we changed one thing. We keep all his abilities because they're sick. Well, I guess it's their abilities. I don't know if Draco Liches have a gender. They might. They probably do. They don't have physical sex, that's for certain. But let's see. Mesmerizing Glare. Alright, let's see what that does. Let me zoom in a little more for you guys. And again, I apologize if I'm looking that way a lot. I have my second monitor up, which has the book open. Which is what the book you're all seeing right there. Zoom in one more time, see if we can get it even larger. Excellent. RuneScribe Draco Lich. Hooray. So let's look at this Mesmerizing Glare, see what we can do. Immediate interrupt when an enemy makes a melee attack against the Draco Lich. So that's basically, you can do this once every turn. Yeah, the angry are like super chilled out going in to rescue Adrian, and they're like, where? I really thought this would be easier. How did Adrian not already get away? Anyways, let's look at this Mesmerizing Glare, because I think it's cool. Basically, once per round, it can glare mesmerizingly at a creature that attacks it, potentially stunning it. And even on a miss, it would have advantage on the attack. I think that could be really cool. Maybe we do something like that. Let's go up to this little gear on the character sheet to open up the settings. Scroll down to has reactions. So this is going to take the place of Mesmerizing Glare. This will take the place of something like, I don't know, like an opportunity attack, right? Instead, it will use its Mesmerizing Glare to defend itself. When the Draco Lich is attacked, it may use its reaction to force the attacker to roll a wisdom saving throw. DC. What's DC? What's his DC? Ooh, Mesmerizing Glare. So there are two options we can go here. We can either go say this is a spell, this is magic, and use Charisma. Or we could say this is a natural intrinsic ability and use Constitution. I think I'm going to go with Charisma. So it's going to be a DC 6, which is the base proficiency bonus, plus 8, so 14, plus that 4. So 18, DC 18. And that is actually the correct way to put all this stuff together. Per the basic rules of putting monsters together and stuff, it doesn't matter. On a failed save, the creature is stunned. On a success, it suffers disadvantage on the attack roll. Excuse me. That seems really powerful. Stunning someone. Ooh, maybe I want something better than that, or less. Man, I'm full of hiccups. Ugh. Poisoned until the end of its next turn. And its attraction to for wisdom saving throw. Mesmerizing Glare / Poisoned Mind. I'll do that. I'll call it, even though this isn't a green Draco Lich, it's a black Draco Lich. Cool. So basically, it glares into your soul and it hurts you. You're either poisoned until the end of your next turn, or you're going to suffer disadvantage on the attack roll, no matter what. So that's just for subsequent attacks. So that should be good without being too overpowered, I think. Man, excuse me. RuneScribe Retaliation versus Mesmerizing. Oh, I see. Okay, so targeted by a melee attack. And we're going to give it another one. So we're going to call that one Poisoned Mind. Yeah, whatever. We'll just leave it as this. Cool. Mesmerizing Glare, whatever. And Runic, or Runescribed Retaliation. Oh, right, of course it's telling me that's wrong, because Runescribed is not a real word. Targeted by a ranged attack. So that can be a spell, that can be anything, basically. That's not an area. Either 3 action to force the attacker, or what I want it to do. Make an attack. So instead of targeted, target by range attack, it moves 3 action to magically impair the magically inhibit the attack. The attack is made at disadvantage, and if it misses, the Dracolich can magically redirect it against another target. Repeat the attack roll. Cool. I super dig that. Come and fight me like a man. If you're gonna fight me. Let's see. Blackfire. I don't know if we need Blackfire. We already have the Acid Breath. It's gonna be sick. A ton of damage. Especially because it does ongoing damage. I don't want more than one recharging weird fire breath. Yeah. I think we're cool with just the regular breath weapon, which this one stuns. We need that much CC. I think we'll be fine with just the regular acid breath, because killing them is like stunning. Ooh, and we'll add that right up here. Bloodied breath. The Dracolich's breath weapon recharges, and it uses it immediately. So I'm going to give that a 1 per day when first bloodied. I love those abilities. I just think they're freaking cool. And I think that's about it. I mean, we've built a pretty cool, let me scroll out here. A pretty menacing black dragon. Let's drag him on. And oh yeah, that's how big he is. No, he's gonna be gargantuan. So this is gonna be, man, I really should have probably made this all bigger. Let's roll for hit points. 330, 63. 408's better. I like 408 more. We'll give him advantage on his hit point roll. Alright, cool. And Plunder, I see you're saying the acid claws. Doesn't he already have something like that? Excuse me. They're just regular claws. Oh. 2 with the claws, 1 with the bite. Is that really it? Yeah, it doesn't feel like a lot. No, we're gonna add 1d8 acid to that. Just a little bit more. Just a teeny bit. Good catch, Plunder. More acid, more better. Actually, really, let's just give him the fucking 2d8. Let's just go whole ham here. Same as his mouth. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get rid of this. I hate that so much. Yeah, I think we're good. The tail probably won't do acid damage. Frightful Presence, nice, and we got the legendary action. So yeah, I think we're pretty much set. Adrian's on the board. Legendary health gains advantage on hit point rolls. Yeah, exactly, Bionic Sheba, precisely. What else? We don't need this ancient this blue dragon or blue Draco Lich anymore. We got a sick black Draco Lich, and I think that's more or less it. This is a very straightforward adventure for being such high level. I guess it makes sense, right? Because the combat's going to take so much longer. So yeah, makes sense to me. I'm pretty excited. This looks pretty cool to me. We got our torch. I'll drag the torch. Well, keep the torch here. Why not? Boop. Oh, shit! That's something I didn't do. I didn't put light everywhere. Whoopsies. Back to the art gallery. And I'm going to search light. Right, because there is light. Of course, I'm not even close to done. What? Okay, so we have this blank square here. Which is going to be our light. This is going to be 200 feet of bright light. Because this whole room is filled. We don't need that anymore. And we're going to move this guy onto... Oh, we're going to copy him. Go to dynamic lighting and paste it. Alright. Where was it originally? There. Cool. So you see it's on the dynamic lighting layer, so we can actually see the light, even though it's really not there. So that's got bright light. This room's got weird bright light. I think we're supposed to have the light everywhere, so we're going to put it everywhere. Which, it doesn't look like there's any shade now. But, that's cool. Don't worry about it. There will be. And then we have light in this room. I'm going to make sure to put that in the middle of that arcane well. Because that light goes away when Adrian feels like it. Oh, actually, you know what's way better? Let me take that off. We're going to hit Control-C to copy. Go to the Objects Token, Control-C to paste. So we got that weird invisible light. It's actually not invisible, huh? It's got a little bit of a thing. Wait. Oh, dynamic lighting. Haha. Go back to Objects and Tokens, and I'm going to plop it right down in the middle. So that's where the light's coming from. The drives absorb health on a bite attack. Yeah, you know, actually, it's not a terrible idea. I'm just not certain if we need it. Like, I'm honestly kind of concerned. This is a gauntlet. I mean, they're level 17, but like, jeez. Especially with those two reactions, it's gonna reduce a lot of effective damage and potentially do a ton on the ranged attacks. So, I don't know. I think we're more or less okay. Maybe not though. I'll go back Bionic Sheba for you, and I will add our friend the Empyrean, just in case. As God descends from the heavens and is like, what'd you do? You freed the Draco Lich! Let's see. Is there anything else we need? We got the light. We got that. Oh, I need to put my notes in. Boop! So one of the things I love doing is I go to the GM layer. Got to make sure I'm on the GM layer. Go to the text. Make the text nice and white to contrast the black background. Go to whatever font you want. Arial is what I'm going with here. Pick a size. I think it's like 2032. I think it's a good one for what I want. For my zoom level. And I'll just start typing my notes. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Cool. And bada boom. The bright side about using the GM layer there is, well, the players can never see it. Alright, so this tab is not really working right. So I'm just going to use 5 spaces. We'll call that good enough. Force cage. So yeah, we got our notes here for tab 1. Encounter 2. We're going to do the exact same deal. We're still in the GM layer. Good. I'm going to put it up at the top just so I don't get confused. Runic Soul Binding we were talking about. I think I like that, actually. I'm going to put that in there. Just don't die to the Marut. Oh, jeez. Got a lot of a lot of text. Oops. You know, actually, I think the running soul binding is just too much. That's fine though. Live. Well, the murderers arrive. Touching door equals con save, DC 18, or paralyzed. Ooh, do I want to make it 1 minute? I'll do save ends. Like power word stun. Power word stun's awful. I hate that spell so much. Yeah, infinite trench. I like the infinite trench. Infinitely deep trench. Fall forever. Runs on walls. Completely. Okay, magic damage. And anti-bar double door. Cool. I'm super into that. This is a good enough kind of little notes for me. And then we're on the last chamber, which is super easy. Gonna draw. Boop. And there's so much stuff here. Can I teleport out of chamber? Cool. Of chamber. Director seems crazy the road occultist. Rescue it. Cool. I think I'm just gonna say that they passive perception. Let's look at the bone claws. Bone claw. Passive stealth. They have a stealth here from their shadow thing. It's gonna be +5 for that. So it's actually a +12. It's 22. It's actually a really high passive perception. You'd see these guys. Sees rod spewers. Sees the soy boys. It's gonna be really weird. Anyway, I love contingency. I also love contingency. Explosive traps on the sides, corners. Oh, that's a good idea. I should put those on there. Wait, why am I making all these things? Oh yeah, so that one's actually there. Coolio. So we have our notes for there, and let me just creatures have, not creature shave. The traps. So we're gonna just type runes. Ah, perfect. Drag that on, and we're gonna double click on it. We're gonna go to tint color red, and hopefully that'll look red. It doesn't look red at all. Okay, we're gonna delete it. How about you? You're not even visible. Here we go. You're red. Move that. Okay, so we're on the GM layer with those. Good, because those are our traps. We don't want people to see those. And I think that's it. We're all set now. We're ready to roll. Roll20 is all set up. You turn the dynamic lighting on, right? Yep, everything's good. And yeah, we're set. Like, that's the greatest thing about Roll20. We're just already done. The whole adventure's set up for this big level 18 battle. I mean, Jesus. We're gonna just rename the Ancient Black Dragon to Adrian. Adrian, the narrator. That's just for my record, Adrian. And actually, let me change his name here. Adrian, the Ancient Black Dracolich. Boom. All done. But I love contingencies. Right, I just read that earlier. Yeah, I think we're good. We got it all set up. This is going to be terrifying. I'm going to kill people, I think. I think this adventure is going to be the one that slays our fine heroes. Yeah, man. It's so small an area. There's nowhere to run. Like, there's nowhere to go. They have to climb back up because they're falling from the ceiling here into this chamber. They need like a portable ladder with one of them. Oh my god. So for magic items, I'm giving them a very rare, 2 rare, 3 uncommon, and 4 common magic items each. Which might be a little much. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Might be a little underpowered, but at the bright side, you know, they get to pick them, so there's some strength in that. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty excited nonetheless. I know at least 2 of the characters. We'll see. Oh, not the fucking wand. If anyone wastes an action using the Wand of Wonder in this adventure, they're gonna die. They're all gonna die. Like, that'll just be the end. Rip the team. Oh, let me not have the Draco start there. Let me have him move one back. So just click and then drag really quick. Just make sure these are all not visible. And I think we're set. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks everyone who stopped by to hang out while we put this all together. We've been going for almost exactly 2 hours, which is pretty crazy. But when you think about it, no legendary? What do you mean no legendary? No, I'm not giving them legendary magic items. Screw those guys. They don't get no black razors. This game becomes easy when they get black razors. No, they get to suffer with just 1 very rare magic item. That's all they get. Please roll 1 legendary for each player. You want me to roll legendary magic items? I mean, how do I even do that? Like, what do I do to roll a legendary magic item here? I guess I could. Deck of Wonders. You mean the deck of many things? Oh, of course I can give them each a deck of many things. Everyone can have a deck of many things. No, just kidding. Yeah, you know what I'll do? I'll give them the shitty legendary magic items from Princes of the Apocalypse. And that's what they can have. That'd be so rude. I'll think about it, Switch. I'll think about it. Maybe we'll give them some legendary magic. See, that's my problem, right? Consumable legendaries, like the Sword of 3 Wishes. Like, yeah, I picked the Sword of 3 fucking Wishes. Like, that's sick. And then you're always out, no matter what. Like, bringing Wish to this game is just kind of like, come on, man. That's not the point of what we're doing here. We're having a brutal dungeon crawl. Just wishing you win, I don't know, just feels iffy to me. What if one of them gets like a belt of storm giant strength? Like, that's unreasonable. Or I don't know. Well, I'll think about it. I'll think about it more. Maybe we can give them an apparatus of Qualish, and it'll be a blast. Or maybe I'll curate like a smaller list of legendary magic items they can choose from. We'll see. Oh, I know. We'll give them each Iron Horns of Valhalla. Perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us today. Super appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for talking in the chat. Thanks for helping me set up Adrian the narrator to destroy our foolish enemies tomorrow. And I hope you all have a fantastic day. If you have a hankering for more Dungeons and Dragons right now, you may want to jump on Wizards of the Coast Dungeons and Dragons channel for the Stream of Many Eyes. It's super cool. And I'm actually catching up on that now. I've got a bunch more to watch. So roll a d48. Ugh, Switch. Why are you doing this to me, buddy? I'll roll it, but I'm not keeping them. 4d48s. Wait, no, not d. There we go. We got an 11, a 30, a 46, and a second 11. All right, Switch. What 2 magic items are 11? Boy. What'd they get, Switch? Switch, you don't got it for me? You don't have the item ready? Come on. Switch, what are you doing? You're leaving me out to dry. Alright, guys. We'll chat later. I gotta take off. Thanks a bunch, everyone, for hanging out. Super appreciate it. And I hope I see you guys tomorrow when I actually run this adventure. It should be pretty cool. Or a complete slaughter. We'll see. Yeah, no, fuck that. No ring spell turning. That's dumb. All right. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.